I swear I don't like this new platform. I think this is the last week. But guys, welcome to episode 67 of the weekly comic wrap up. And of course, we have a good show, big show tonight because, well, somebody you've seen several times before, CHIAPET, is going to be joining us. But before we bring him in and say hello, I do want to say a few things. First and foremost, it is Halloween coming up. And this Thursday over on Covrprice, even though it's Halloween, we're going live to bring you guys the shakers, and we will all be dressed up in our Halloween costumes. So make sure you subscribe to Covrprice. Go show some love to Covrprice. We go live every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and of course the top 10 on Tuesday nights. So show some love, guys. Go subscribe to Covrprice on YouTube. Now, it was a busy week. It was a busy weekend. A lot going on. We're going to have some interesting stuff to talk about. FOC is a little light. Market report. We're going to have a lot of fun. And of course, the hot topics of the week. Well, there's a few hot ones we will get into. And Venom. Venom came out. Guys, I will save it for the end of the show when we get into the hot topics. But I'm curious. Chat, whoever got to see it, let us know what you thought about it throughout the show. And obviously, when we get to it in the hot topics portion of the show, well, then, of course, feel free to voice your opinion at 100%. All right. The man is backstage. He's busy. He's hustling because tomorrow night he has a big show ahead of him as well. But, guys, welcome, my brother, CHIAPET. Chia, come here,
What's
sir.
up? What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Oh, you came in super small. Doing
Well,
good. You?
very rarely has that anybody ever said that about me. You came into the room very small.
My man.
I'm gonna take my compliments when I can get them. I got you. I got Jack telling me because I was wearing a baggy hoodie that I had lost weight. You know what? It's so far so good. And then then Squirrel Girl mocking us like, "What do you guys? A bunch of ladies complimenting each other?" So, anyways,
It's
we'll
it's
take it.
funny.
We'll take it and go with it.
It's funny you mentioned that. We're gonna talk about that in just a second because people are probably wondering who's Jack. We're gonna talk about Jack in just a minute. But before we do, I said you're a busy guy. You have a busy schedule. You got big things happening. Of course, tomorrow
Yeah.
night. Talk to me.
Well, we have our weekly live comic claims, new comic book day claim sale on over on our Legion Comics YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure
Comic
you can
Legion.
this,
Comic
yeah,
Legion.
Comic
Hello.
Legion.
Yeah.
Yes, Comic Legion YouTube channel. I'm sure you can find the link below. I think
It's there.
Jonado posts it usually.
Yep.
And so that's what we got going there. We're finishing out the FOC orders. So we're constantly hustling. If you guys want to join the Comic Legion, there's our website, comiclegion.ca, where we offer pretty good FOC discount. I believe it's 20%, plus you get 5% extra on your purchases on Legion points, which you could then use to purchase other things. And soon the website will be populated with a whole bunch of signature series slabs, CGC slabs, back issues, and recent back issues, and the whole thing. So it's growing. It's growing. It's becoming a Legion. So can't complain.
It is.
And our shows on Monday are pretty fun. BC has joined a few times, and we're getting a good vibe there. People enjoy making fun of me a few times, so that's always good. And welcome to it. That's a free perk of the Comic Legion. Yep. You get big free shots at CHIAPET.
That's what I come in there for. Because look, I do my FOC. I order my books on pre-order, so whatever I pre-ordered is what I want. But new comic book day, if you guys missed out, like CHIAPET was saying, you could go and check out Comic Legion on their YouTube channel where they go live every Monday night for a live new comic book day claim sale. And of course, they put a ton of back issues as well. But I tune in just to rag on this guy over here. That's pretty much all I do. So if you want to tune in and catch some of that fun stuff, definitely more than welcome to join. But like CHIAPET said, you guys get 5% off on points. So basically, you're getting 5% off of your purchase total towards points that you could redeem on the website. So for future reference, if ever you guys want to, spoil yourself with something free as you accumulate those points, do so. But if it is your first order that you ever order on the website, use the discount code ENLIST. It's going to give you 5% off. But we'll get through all that.
That's at the end. It's at the end of the FOC segment.
Yeah, we'll get to it in the FOC segment. But you were talking about somebody. You said Jack. You said he saw you. He thought you lost weight, but in theory, you were just wearing a baggy hoodie.
Yeah.
No, you
Well, I think Harry
did.
mentioned how I should take off the mask. I was trying to dress up like Harry today. That's why. So
Uh,
Harry's wondering why I'm wearing the mask and looking this frightening. So sorry, Harry.
I get
Mental
it.
note. I'll take it off next time.
I get it. But if you're in the Montreal area, guys, there's Harry and Jack, two brothers. That they're hardcore comic collectors. They love comics, and what they have is sales taking place every so often on the weekends. Like we already know, there's another one up and coming as well, which we'll talk about in just a bit. But just this weekend in Montreal, they do warehouse sales, and it's pretty cool. Check this out, guys. On the warehouse sale, as you can see here, you might recognize that face on the far left. That's Anthony from Reference Point Podcast. But tables and tables and tables full of comics, good stuff. You got slabs, long boxes going all around this warehouse where you guys can dig up some great things. They're always, wheeling and dealing. You can always go up to them and, whatever it is you find, make sure, you bring it to them and try to, I guess, wiggle with them. They're always open to wiggle. But yeah, great guys. And as you can see, it was a great turnout, man. There was quite a few people who turned up, people hitting grails that they've wanted to collect and so forth. It was nice to see the turnout. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it, but I was in the loop because we have a group chat where we get to see all these things, and it was very cool to see that. So if you're in the Montreal region, I highly encourage everybody to check it out. I believe the next warehouse sale is going to be November 8th. Um, do you recall what's the location? I know it's in the West Island, right? Or
No,
Ville
it's
Saint
on
Laurent?
it's
Yeah.
Vilson Ashby. It's on Rue
Yeah.
Ashby.
There you go. So if you guys want to know more, I'll comment in the comment section of this video after the fact, after this show, and I'll put the address so you guys could always check it out if you're within the area. Now, I do apologize, guys. It is Halloween season, so if boys and girls, if there's any children watching, just fair warning in advance. But as you can see, the gentleman completely on the far right, yes, CHIAPET was also there. So yeah, you have Chia there. You have Hyper Combo Comics, who you might recognize. There's Gear Up 260, who is obviously there as well. You can see in the photo. So it's nice to see this awesome sale, man. I'm devastated I missed out this weekend.
Yeah, there'll be another one. They got you. Don't worry about it. And there's plenty of books to go around. I mean, they have so many good stuff that you're gonna figure something out. You're gonna find something out there.
Yeah, I saw, dude. They Jack and Harry were saying that it's going to take place, I believe, November 8th, the next
I
one.
believe
So
that. I believe so. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they've got collections coming in like crazy, man, like absolute crazy. So shout out to them. If you're within the area, like I said, you might want to check it out. They've got a ton of stock and clearly always something for everybody. So there you go. All right, Chia, let's say hi to the chat before we get into the show. So shout out to Derek, who's in the house. Derek, appreciate you being here. Yes, I saw that Hail Mary. Nick, did you see that Hail Mary? It was
I
crazy.
missed it. I missed
Yeah.
it because I started watching the Habs game, and then they had a Hail Mary. My friend, who's a Redskin fan, was telling me
Yeah.
it was insane.
Yeah, I think the Hail Mary was like at around the 30, 35-yard line
It's
from their
crazy.
zone. Bro, Hail Mary, it hit an entire crowd of players and it just gets to the one guy standing behind them, catches it, touchdown. Insane. Yeah. Commanders Hail Mary for the win. Amadi's in the house. Madi, yes, appreciate you being here. I know you made it out to the sale as well. So yeah, whatever you guys got, man, feel free to share. Post it, Instagram, tag me. I would love to see that. Infamous Jeb is in the house. Jeb, I really, really wanted to hear Jeb's take on Venom, The Last Dance. And I was going in conversation with him. But I want to hear more in depth. So hopefully we'll get him on probably next week. We'll try. Jeb, I'm calling you out. So there you go. Christian's in the house. Christian, appreciate you being here as well. Yes, I appreciate you. Looking forward to the weekly wrap up. There's this fine gentleman right here in the chat named CHIAPET. So thank you for being both in the chat and on stream. Derek's in the house. Jesus, Nick's on time. He actually was.
Ha ha ha.
Did you get the watch? Is that what happened? You got a watch?
No. I want to change my reputation.
There you go. So it was for for the reputation. Sam Al's in the house. Yes, he's here, even despite the fact you're here. See what you guys are seeing here in the chat. This is what you can find tomorrow over on Comic Legion. But definitely,
other than this, you can find like great deals as
Great
well,
books. Yes,
especially on new books.
absolutely.
We have I think a couple of weeks ago, we offered Absolute Batman at
Yes.
$4 Canadian, up to 6 for every customer, and that's on a Monday. And we already knew that the book was going to be the hottest book of the second half of the year. Let's say, for instance, we were offering Doom #1s for a ridiculous cost. Wolverine Red Bands are this week. This special of the week is Wolverine Red Band. Below cover price. I mean, I don't think you could probably find these hot/key books of the week anywhere for a better price, to be honest.
No, it's crazy, dude. The book was already, I would say, heading towards $15 Canadian on the Monday that you guys were selling them at $4. So like you said, man, deals are to be had. The hottest book of the week tends to be what you guys have as deals. You're almost hitting 100% when it comes to that. So
yeah, it's nuts. Give me a second though.
Yeah, no problem. You got Ben LaRouche in the house. Ben, how's it going, brother? Appreciate you being here as well. We just spoke about Harry. So Harry, yes, the warehouse sale. Guys, like I said, I will drop the address in the comment of this video afterwards, so you guys can go check it out. And yeah, man, if you're in the area, I highly encourage everybody to go. Michael Baker, that's right, baby. We got some Baker Shakers to go through tonight, and there are some fun ones, as always. Michael Baker bringing the fire. Steph's Comics is in the house. Steph, I don't know if you made it out to the sale of Harry's or not, but yeah, man, it was looking amazing. So if you did, I would love to see what you picked up. If not, I hope to catch you there November 8th. I wasn't able to go this weekend. I'm really going to try to make it for the next one. Got Derek in the house. You'll get the hang of the transitions. Don't give in to StreamYard. Fight the power. Oh, dude, it's not even on my end. It's just the lag, like in between transitions, is really slow. It's not giving me the effect I want for the weekly comic wrap up. So we'll see. We'll see. But yes, really, Nick is the hot guest. Yeah, the hottest apparently. Who else we got here? All right, Brian LCS, guys. If you're familiar with the comic book community, then you should be familiar with the Comic Book Community Awards. That's right. Brian doing some great things within the community, and we have the final that is taking place November 2nd. So on November 2nd, over on his channel, so feel free, click on his name within the chat. I encourage everybody to subscribe to the channel because you will see who won from all the nominees from multiple categories. I was apparently nominated for Best Speculation, which thank you guys for nominating me. Should I win? Great. Should I not? Great. I'm okay with that. There's many awesome people nominated, and it's nothing but love. So appreciate what you do, Brian. I don't know how you pull it off, but you deserve every ounce of kudos.
And with very little fanfare. That's the key.
Exactly, man. It's insane.
Yeah, he does it for the love of, literally for the love of the game.
Yeah, that's really it. That's really it. Yeah, 100%. You got Comic Ozzy in the house, the winner of last week's giveaway. That's right. The 2 slabs were given away by Michael Baker. So congrats, Ozzy, brother. Appreciate you tuning in and of course sharing the link to the show in your story on Instagram. Who else we got? We got Val in the house, Team Nick hashtag. So you see, you do have a little bit of a following.
Yeah, I know. I got the good ones.
There you go.
Not the ones that the haters.
Yeah, you got Canadian Survivalist in the house. I'm happy to be a hater. Canadian Survivalist, I appreciate you being here. Aren't we up against each other in a hockey pool today?
I think I'm getting killed in that pool. Killed.
No, you're doing a good comeback. The Canadians are playing well.
Oh, listen, I went heavy on the Habs because whatever, on that one. I'm doing good in the other one, the Latvian Senate hockey pool. But now my brother passed me, and I'm never going to hear the end of it. And now Pacino's on neck and neck. The 2 guys who confer and they conspire. They conspire, bro. They conspire.
Yeah. Chia, we both know this guy. This is TK in the house, baby. Appreciate it.
Somebody who's not a hater.
Oh no, he's a hater.
No. He's what we call in Greek alevedi.
Yeah. It's total 180 of that. 180. But
no, he just pretends to be the hater because he thinks that's gonna make him
the cool guy.
There's Ben. He knows where it's coming from.
Yeah, no. TK, I appreciate you being here. I will see you tomorrow. N-Town's in the house, man. Appreciate him being here as well. You got DJ in the house, man. DJ's in the house, so thank you so much for swinging by. You got Kenneth Bird. What's going on, Kenneth, brother? Appreciate you swinging by tonight. This gentleman made it out to the sale as well, if I'm not mistaken. Nostra Venom, right? So, yeah, man. Appreciate you being here as well. Would love to know what he thinks about the Venom movie because, yeah. Anyways, Cliff is in the house. Cliff, what's going on, Cliff? Appreciate you being here. Always happy to see you in the chat and hopefully going to see you on stream again sometime real soon. We got Sequential Geek in the house. What's going on, Sequential, brother? Appreciate you swinging by. All right, Chia, it's time, baby. We need to get into the FOC picks of the week. You're ready?
Always.
I know.
Born ready.
I know. All right, guys. FOC picks of the week with the slow transitions, which I will never be happy about.
I was about to say that it was better than last week. So whatever tweaking you're doing is getting better. Just giving you a heads up.
I feel like I'm like a DJ here, a studio with all this stuff that I gotta make sure it goes a little bit better, but it's not as good as I want it to be. But what is good is this week's FOC. So let's get into it. These are the FOC selections by Lefteros for week of October 28th. Now, of course, you can go check out the full detailed article over on Covrprice. So go show some love. Go check out covrprice.com. And if you are in the United States and you see any books here that we are showing you tonight that you would like to order, go visit comicnation.us. You have 15% off of the cover price already. Get yourself an additional 5% off by using discount code Black Crown. And of course, we got to show love to our fellow Canadians. Guys, we just spoke Comic Legion. CHIAPET's in the house straight from Comic Legion. Go visit comiclegion.ca if you're in Canada. You got 20% off already on cover price, but you can get yourself an additional 5% off of your first order by using the discount code ENLIST. Now, Chia, disclaimer, we're not telling anybody to buy all these books, just putting out the information provided to us by Cover Price and, most importantly, Lefteros. So,
I gotta say something about the disclaimer. I appreciate that you do it, DC. I really do. But do we really need to tell people that these are just suggestions and like basically a heads up on them? I mean, have we reached that point where people give you flack for this? Is that what's happening on the? Well, then,
bro, I got.
I mean, I'm sorry if you guys don't have enough self-restraint that anything that BC tells you to do, you do.
No.
You know how many things he tells me to do, and I tell him to F off of this thing? You know what I mean? Like, honestly, guys, like, does the suggestion have that much sway over you? Is that what's happening?
I could go on forever, but I've been called a sellout. I've been called a pusher. I'm none of the two, bro. I'm just putting out info, and that's it.
I will say something. If you guys knew how much effort my brother goes, I'm saying Lefteros is my brother, by the way, goes through to make sure that he's offering his word means something. And the books that he highlights are books that he believes in. Guys, I process the books. I know how many of each of these books he gets for himself. He believes in these things that he does, you know? He's never pushing any of that stuff. And I'll say it because that's just the reality. And BC doesn't push this stuff. And having to do the disclaimer, we as a community should be ashamed of ourselves that we have BC has to do that. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just doing it
I know. I to cover your base. I get it. But I'm a guest here. I could say the truth. I'm not holding this child down.
I want the truth. Nothing but the truth, baby. So let's get into the first book on the FOC list, which is The Rockefellers, #1, cover A right here. Now, it's a new ongoing series about a family on the run through time, which sounds very entertaining. If you guys are on board with everything happening Ghost Machine related, you're going to want to pick this up because for myself, this one seems like it's going to be one of the most fun titles coming out of Ghost Machine. It looks like this whole time traveling family thing is going to be wicked. I can't wait to see what kind of adventures they're going to come across. But there's not just this cover A, guys. There's this awesome 1 in 50 incentive that I love. It's so well done. So well done.
You know, I don't think Ghost Machine has put out one bad book. Like, it hasn't. Like, it's the thing is not only are the stories original and cool, they're also so well produced. I mean, the comics, when you receive them, are so sharp and mint. The production value is through the roof. It may be up the best production value out there right now.
Yeah.
And the stories, are just incredible and original. And I was speaking to the creators when I went to Fan Expo, and Jason Fabric was telling me, he's like, you don't understand. We're not doing this for one trade paperback and out.
Yeah.
They're committed to building this into its brand. And what I really like about the last couple of them, they've been so original, like tying Hyde Street into the X-Ray magazine character we used to see in the back of old back issues.
Yeah.
And the stories about that dude and a Boy Scout. And now in Devour that came out this week, it's about like, from what I'm gathering, I haven't had a chance to read it, but like other kind of like house, how can I say this, housewife type vibe that's going on.
Yeah.
I think that's such an original concept. And the Rockefellers, it sounds a lot like Rockefeller, the actual rich, super rich industrialist. And I'm wondering if there's going to be a connection to that.
Yep. Could be. Who knows? But Harry's saying he's smelling a Claymore Monday night, meaning tomorrow on your show. But Lefteros isn't lying. There are a lot of good books dropping this week, including Absolute Batman second print. So
that cover is just, the 1 in 25 is gorgeous. Oh, actually, all the covers. To be honest,
no, they look great. I can't wait to finally pick up my copies. I'm just waiting for my.
Okay, all right. Let's. I had to pitch in to share my geek knowledge with the people today, so I couldn't get to you.
Yeah, that's fine. I get it. But anyways, moving on, we have The Moon is Following Us, issue number 3. This is the cover B variant by Daniel Warren Johnson. Now, Daniel Warren Johnson is not just doing awesome covers, he's also writing this book. And guys, I cannot stress it enough. Daniel Warren Johnson is doing what he does best, writing great stories. And this particular book has been great out the gate. I've loved it. Daniel Warren Johnson, I find, always tends to do this. He always tends to give us high-paced, good stuff, and then he hits us with a shot in the heart, bro. There's always that heart where he just guts us.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
That's his MO. It's been since, I think, all his career.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a great read, man. I don't know if you're on this, but I'm loving this. It's absolutely amazing. Sequential Geek saying...
Sorry.
So, what'd you say?
I haven't read issue 2.
Sequential Geek saying, although I had not read it, I think Black Science was a traveling family adventures type book that had positive reviews, testing out ideas for books to compete with Fantastic Four when the movie comes out, ? I don't think that's the case. I really think, maybe if you want to talk timing wise, it's just not awkward timing. They're well ahead of the release of Fantastic Four in the MCU, but when it comes to the book itself, no, I just think they're continuing to grow the Ghost Machine brand, and there's just so much good stuff coming out. So I actually really look forward to reading the Rockefellers. But anyways, let's keep it rolling because we have Wonder Woman issue number 15. This is the cover B and done by Nakayama. Nakayama, always banger covers. I love Nakayama's work. But it doesn't end there for Wonder Woman 15, guys, because we also have this 1 in 25 incentive by Sawi. And I think this is gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, but the Nakayama, man, you can't go wrong.
Back to back. The last one was gorgeous too.
Yeah.
The one that was a red background with a more close-up of his Nakayama back to back. So issue basically 14 and 15 have been incredible Wonder Woman covers. Like they're the ones to pick up. DC does such a great job in the production as well. So the card stock looks great. The 1 in 25 is also like, it's incredible. Like, but I still think the Nakayama edges it out, to be honest with you.
Same. I think the Sawi is beautiful, but I really, really like the Nakayama.
He's just doing the hair so good. Like the hair just has a really good flow to it. And, he's got the vibe. It's really killing it, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So
it's the costume is right now DC is putting out some bangers.
Yeah. I think you prefer this one a little more because the thighs, you get a little cheek. I think that's what's going on.
Listen, it doesn't hurt.
I ain't complaining. But anyways, both beautiful covers here for Wonder Woman 15. But this is the one I messed up. I messed up because I was busy. I was celebrating my wife's birthday, and I got a message from Lefteros, Ascensia, issue 29, cover A, wraparound cover by Perillo. It was only available up until yesterday, guys. I don't know if you knew about that on FOC. So
No, I
yeah,
did.
that's a bit of a bummer because the wraparound is crazy. Like you have people like Kermit. I think it's Gonzo in the background, like holding the knives, going after Ronald McDonald. It is such a sick cover, and I missed it. I'm so pissed because I
I'm
really, really wanted this.
I'm freaking out as well. The only thing I'm hoping of is that my brother is so good at ordering because he's is so good at this. Is that Legion won't let us down,
Yeah.
and we could all get a crack at it on the Monday Legion show.
Yes, please, Lefteros.
I don't know. I don't know if he hooked us up. I don't know.
We need we need to make sure that that he came up clutch
I
because
hope he came up clutch because we were all sleeping. And if you guys knew, we have a Telegram chat for the Legion claims, and he's often posting that information, often giving chances between FOC and New Comic Book Day to get on a book when it gets hot. So I mean, yeah, hopefully he didn't sleep like the rest of us were, because this
yeah.
looks incredible. This looks like one of the covers of the year. Period.
Oh, dude, it's absolute madness. I want to show you guys the full wraparound, but I'm not finding it right now on Google. I have it on my phone somewhere. I just gotta find that. But man, it looks absolutely
It's
wild.
insane. It's terrifying, but you
Yeah,
can't look away. That's
I promise you guys, I will try to find it throughout the show, and then I'll show you guys exactly what the wraparound is because it's just absolutely amazing.
they're
Order
not.
two copies
Heinz
of.
is rubbing it in. Heinz is rubbing it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Hyper. Thanks.
Thank you for ordering me a copy. I really appreciate that, Hyper. You're the nicest guy out there. DJ asking, why can't you just order another 25 now? Because it was up until yesterday, the order. So yeah, if you
Oh,
missed it, go ahead.
Lefteros just popped in and said we can order, but there's no guarantees.
Ah, okay. So there you go. So Lefteros, please add 2 copies, please. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. But anyways, let's keep it rolling. I'll try to find you guys the wraparound throughout the show. But Geiger issue number 8 is also on FOC this week. This is the cover B by Derek Chu. Geiger has been relatively good. I think it's look. It all started with Geiger. Technically,
It's the
if you guys,
cornerstone, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So the Ghost Machine stuff. If you really want to dive in, I would say start with Geiger. It's probably a little hard to come across the cover A's of the original that came out what I think it was 2 years ago. So yeah, I'm on board with Geiger. I'm on board with Ghost Machine. So this is an automatic pickup. I do like the Derek Chu probably the best out of the selections.
Yeah. It's Derek Chu just does some great covers. Like we had a few of them last week too. But yeah, I think this one is actually incredible, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. Seven Magic, what's going on? Appreciate you being here. You got Paul in the 619 in the house, guys. Please subscribe to his awesome channel. Show some love. Goes live Tuesday nights. Leftero saying this is a stunner of a cover, but this book is about reading. Yes, exactly. Like I said, it all started with Geiger. It all starts with Geiger, and for the sake of read, it's totally worthy of a pickup.
It really is.
Yeah. But all right, let's move on to the next book, which is Nice House by the Sea, #1. Here's the second print. DC Comics Vertigo imprint returns. Yes, and many are happy about that. So as you can see at the top left of this cover, there it is. DC Vertigo is back, baby. So if you like it, there you go. You have an opportunity to pick it up. But besides that, if you want to pick it up and you missed out on the read the first time around, this would be a good opportunity to hop on. So Nice House by the Sea, issue #1. I didn't get the first print.
No.
No.
Listen, I loved the first series. Loved it. Nice House by the Lake. I thought it was a masterpiece. I think it's ready made to be a show. It's basically a full season of the show. Nice House in the Sea. I haven't caught up on it yet. I've bought the issues. I just haven't had a chance to read it. I presume it's going to be great as well, but I just haven't had a chance to read it yet. But I've picked them up. I think this is cool that they added the Vertigo imprint now. I think issue 3 already has it as well or something. So I'm definitely down with Vertigo being back because that was always when I was younger, the like prestige format, used to hear, it's a Vertigo book, a Vertigo book. And then they just basically abused that kind of like, or they just watered it down. And now I think with the DC All In relaunch and then the Vertigo thing, I think there's a concerted effort to create these sub brands. To be honest with you, and I'm very excited to see where they're going to go with the Vertigo stuff.
Agreed. Ben, pretty much answering Sequential Geek's question regarding Geiger. Yes, this is the second volume. It's not the first volume. First volume, like I said, it had come out, I think, about like 2 years ago. So you might want to look at that. Definitely dive into it. Read it, online or whatever it is. I really encourage you to do so. And yeah, if you have the opportunity to pick them up, definitely do so because it's a great read. But anyway,
I think Sequential Geek made a comment about how he's jaded for the last 4 years. Yeah, I gotta say, this year's comics, all the new stuff and everything have been really good. Whether it's the Ultimate line, the Energon line, the Ghost Machine line, now with the Absolute line, all the new stuff.
Yeah,
it's almost as if the creator just said, "Hold up, let's kick this to high gear post-pandemic." And I think that they're killing it. Like, honestly, we've been really spoiled. And I remember in our chat we were talking about at the end of last year, like, look what's coming up, guys. We were saying, oh, this year looks great, with the JLA going to be relaunched and everything. And then it just hit us, and then Absolute came out of nowhere. Well, it was a concept, and that one blew us away as well. So I'm even I'm thinking we're in almost a really, really good phase for comics creatively.
Absolutely, dude. The year is like stellar. It's if there's ever a year for reading books, 2024 has been absolutely incredible. We got spoiled as comic fans.
Yeah.
The hardcore readers that actually give a shit about books, you were spoiled. I was spoiled.
Guys like Cliff, who were saying he, this year has. I remember him mentioning it, and Lefteros has mentioned too. The books that are popping off this year have been popping off because the stories have been good.
Yep.
Ultimate Spider-Man, Absolute Batman, Doom, Energon, the stories, Ghost Machine, the stories are great, and then we're reaping the rewards.
Exactly.
So, I'm loving that.
Very few books actually popped this year based on spec, guys. And when I say spec, like, there was people like myself saying Absolute Batman is going to sell out. Having the opportunity to get to know what the book was about prior, etc. You knew it was going to be an instant hit, but again, based on the read, not because of anything else. So
Doom. I remember when Doom popped off, my brother had read it. He's like, guys, pick up this book. It's a banger. The Doom book is great.
Well, look, to be fair, we all thought he was biased for a quick second.
You think Terry maybe Lefteros may be a little bit biased with Doom?
So just slightly.
You think so?
Just slightly.
Maybe.
But yeah,
there may be a Doom, a leaning towards Doom a little bit there, you think?
Yeah. But anyways, let's look at the next book, which is Department of Truth, issue 27. This is the 1 in 25 incentive, which I absolutely love. Talaski is the one who did this one. We get some Marilyn Monroe here.
Anything Marilyn is great. Guys, I'm a little bit too young to have experienced Marilyn Monroe when she was the thing, but the legend was right up, in the 80s. It was massive, So anything with that captures my memory, and this thing it's actually just a gorgeous cover as well. It's literally breathtaking.
Yep. Beautiful cover, the 1 in 25 incentive, but the Department of Truth has been interesting as well story-wise at the moment. I know it was on a little hiatus for a little bit, but since it's come back and on, it's been great. So I really encourage everybody to pick it up. JF's in the house. Can't believe Chia is here. Yes, and he was on time, guys. So that's already a huge improvement. Shout out to Chia.
This slander is too much, honestly.
I love it. I absolutely love it. But let's keep it rolling because we have just a few more books left for FOC. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, issue 311. Because yes, besides the Energon universe, there's still G.I. Joe going on over on Image. We have the 1 in 10 incentive, and you got Snake Eyes negative space variant depiction by Francis Portela. Beautiful. This is sick.
This is an automatic cover by.
Yep.
How can we say no to it?
Yeah.
Snake Eyes was the original character I fell in love with. That was kind of like that ninja type thing.
Yeah.
Like right away you saw, you're like, this guy's just cool. Straight up. I want the toy. It's just, him, Boba Fett, were like the cool ones, right? When you saw them. So
I think,
and then you learned about this, so you fell in love with him. This is just a gorgeous cover, period.
Yeah. Anybody who learned about Snake Eyes based on the movie, I apologize. That's all I'm gonna say. But
Oh,
yeah, for the sake of
guys, stick to the comics, and you're gonna
cartoon,
love it. That's
yeah,
it. There's no need for anything else. Like,
exactly.
to paraphrase Jonathan Hickman, the comics always do it better. They're
Ab-
bigger. There's no budget problems. That there's never an issue, and the
no,
comic creators put more love in it. That's the reality.
well said. I appreciate that. That was very well said. But let's keep it rolling because Space Usagi, White Star Rising, #2, the 1 in 10 incentive. Variant covered by Peach Momoko. Again, I say it every week how I feel about Momoko, but I think this is a very nice cover by Momoko.
I listen. I like Momoko more than most, I guess. Not that I like every cover she makes.
Yeah.
I respect her game in the sense that she unapologetically Peach Momoko.
Yeah.
She doesn't copy anybody else. She goes out there. She's fully confident, and sometimes her covers don't work for me. Like a lot of times, like they're weird shapes. Like I'm used to like more composed figures, more
Yeah.
rendered figures, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I respect the fact that she's an artist, and and many times I'm drawn to her cover, like that. Remember the Deadpool one that we had for Deadpool 7, I believe.
Yeah.
I thought it was gorgeous. I think this one is.
It was.
incredible.
You're talking
Yeah.
about the one with Ellie on it, right?
Yeah, the one with Ellie was just the colors. The watercolor. Listen, the watercolors work sometimes, like really well. Sometimes
Yeah.
they don't, but sometimes they really pop when you get the right combination. So I respect the fact that she does something different. She does her own, and she's super confident.
Yeah.
So it's cool. And look what happened at New York Comic Con. People went
Madness.
crazy for her Spawn cover.
She wasn't even there.
She wasn't even there.
Yeah. But yeah, Momoko is Momoko, guys. No apologies needed. And yeah, I think this is a very neat cover. But we'll keep it rolling, guys, because Sonic the Hedgehog issue 75. That's right. It's hitting a milestone here on its 75th issue of Sonic the Hedgehog comic series. Now, this being published by IDW. This is a beautiful cover. The cover B is absolutely stunning. I love it. It looks like a movie poster for how good it is. And then you have that wraparound as the cover C that is available on FOC. But one thing I will tell you guys, I cannot stress it enough. This 1 in 10 incentive variant for Drain covers for Sonic titles, especially, the ratios, which is what Food Drain's normally doing. They absolutely tend to do incredibly well on the secondary market. In fact, a 1 in 50, which shout out to Lefteros for sending that my way. It's like a 200 plus book over on eBay right now. So yeah, if you can order a 1 in 10 of this book, I think it's a good book to grab. And it literally features almost everybody on this cover, which is pretty cool.
I gotta tell you, I thought only you and Pacino were the lunatic Sonic fans.
Nope.
But it seems that there's a lot of you lunatic Sonic fans.
Absolutely.
So, and I growing up, I was always a Mario guy. Like who's this Sonic kid? Like you pick one or the other, Sid or Ovi. But growing older and after seeing those movies, I'm gonna be straight up. The Sonic movies are better than the Super Mario Brothers movie. The Sonic movies are fun. I'm saying it right now. The Sonic movies are good. No, they're really good. Jim Carrey's incredible in it. He's handing it up. The voice, Jean-Ralphio as the voice of Sonic is impeccable choice. No, I gotta say, I think I've been converted to a Sonic fan, so I'm all in on these. 100%. Let's go for 100.
Okay, so you do enjoy Sonic. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I got either that or you guys just influenced me so much that I hung out with you guys too much, and you guys manipulated me into liking it now.
Probably
one or the other.
Probably what's happening, but I'm totally going. I'm totally going for this 1 in 10. I just might order 10 copies through you guys simply because I really want to get this 1 in 10 incentive. It looks absolutely incredible, and like I said, all three covers are amazing. There's the cover A, which we just showed you right here. But like I said, the cover B looks like literally a movie poster. It's absolutely gorgeous, and then you have the cover C. 3 covers. I'm okay ordering 3 of each, and then throw in a random one of the 3 to get myself this at a cover price because this is a gorgeous book. I think it's going to do very well on the secondary market. And then you have Stan Swagger, which thank you so much for coming to hang out tonight. Appreciate you, bro. Asking, you
Stan?
think Sonic will make it to 100? Absolutely, man. We just got Phantom Rider. They're continuing. There's a lot happening within Sonic at the moment. So I do see it hitting the 100 issue easily. There's no doubt about it. But anyways, Chia, chat. Those were the FOC picks of the week. It was a short week. There's not much. There's no Marvel. No Marvel.
No Marvel.
Exactly.
That's why
no
we were
Marvel.
so loaded last week.
Exactly. Yeah, last week was brutal. It hurt my wallet. But guys, if you liked any of these books on the list, buy Lefteros and Covrprice. Go do yourself a favor. If you're in the United States, go visit comicnation.us. You have 15% off of the cover price already, but get an additional 5 by using discount code Black Crown. And if you're in Canada, Comic Legion's already giving you 20% off. But if it's your first ever order, get 5% off more. And all you got to do is use the discount code ENLIST. You get that extra 5% off if it's your first order. But besides that, go read Lefteros' very detailed article regarding all these books that he selected for tonight over on coverprice.com, where you can find a lot of great features. And I highly encourage everybody to subscribe to the website, where you literally have the tools to do absolutely everything when it comes to checking sales that happen on the secondary market, daily shakers, if you want to check top 10, etc. There's tons of great stuff. And of course, if you want to catalog your own books, it's a great platform to do so. So go visit.
Incredible platform.
Yeah.
I was so when my brother started working closer and closer together with them, I was so pumped because I was already using the platform and I loved it. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. They rock, So honestly, it's awesome. And yes, tomorrow, new comic book day show. It's gonna be another good one.
But we were just talking cover price and aftermarket sales, etc. So it's now my favorite portion of this show, the market report. So Chia, you ready, sir?
Born ready, like I said.
Let's go, guys.
Let's go. Take your time.
All right. Again, I hate the transition, but guys, it's the market report for this week. Now, market report got a little bit of a facelift. As you can see right here, we have a little bit of a new look to it. Now, what am I doing? I'm checking out books that sold on many platforms, whether it be the House of Stein reporting it, CBSI, Key Collector, Cover Price, Go Collect, eBay, you name it. But most importantly, Michael Baker with his Baker Shakers, who is always sending me all week long books that sell throughout the week. So let's kick it off with book number 1. And this is Spectacular Spider-Man issue 101 by Marvel in 1985, but it is a newsstand edition, guys. CGC 98 sold for $900 US. It was a cover price daily shaker. This one hitting a very high sale. I believe it's the top sale. And besides that, one of my favorite covers to come out of the Spectacular Spider-Man run. I think this is just gorgeous.
This may be it's the best cover of that run. It's one of the best Spider-Man covers, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I believe this is John Byrne, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
That was that's his baby. Yeah. I mean, I own a copy. It's not a newsstand and it's not 9.8. There's no way. But you're always on the lookout for this, because this one is to get this into a 9.8 if it's a newsstand, it's almost impossible. From this era, I'm sure there's plenty of 9.6s out there, but I would doubt that we get a lot of 9.8s on this. Like, I mean, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of the, look, I mean, I'm not sure if it would be the one I'd spend $900 on USD, right? But it's definitely a book that I'd love to have in my collection. So yeah, how's that? I mean, this is it's a classic.
It is.
Slab. I mean, it presents so well.
It's crazy what the newsstand premium goes for. I always say this every week, man, that like you could literally get this in a direct for like half off. But it's absolutely gorgeous. Yes, Comic Aussie knows that it's a Byrne cover. Dude, John Byrne's just incredible.
Yes.
The lesson here is if you find one raw that is really sharp, don't shy away from paying for it. So exactly. Gorgeous.
I know what you said about that, BC, about how it's the price is so high. But in general, from the bronze 9.6 to 9.8, the price jump is massive in
Yeah.
general because there's a
Yeah.
lot of 9.6s of everything. Go look at that Uncanny X-Men run. You
Yeah.
find so many 9.6s. I was
No,
just
I know.
having a conversation with like Dan from our chat, and he's like, "Oh, the classic Captain America, Black Widow, Wolverine cover, Uncanny X-Men 258, 268, whichever.
Yes.
I can't remember which one it is. I think 268.
Mhm.
He's like, "Oh yeah, I was about to buy an 9.6 for 150, but I bought the 9.8 for 500. So like a $350 difference
Yeah, for that
because
point two.
yeah, for that point too, because to get them in that level with that paper stock that they had,
Yeah.
and most people who were collecting at X-Men, they would put them in bags, so you get a lot of 9.6s. But that extra level, it's hard to get, So I get why the premium comes because it's just hard to find them, especially a newsstand from this era.
Yeah, Harry's saying he has a newsstand in a 9.6. Ozzy's
Thanks,
saying he
Baker.
needs a Canadian price variant of this one. Michael Baker saying it's 268. 268 that you were
My
referring
bad,
to.
Baker.
But most importantly, guys, chat, everybody here, I want you to show some love because Katie's in the house. Katie, appreciate you being here. Please, guys, click her name in the comment section. Subscribe to her channel. She's doing some great things over on her side of town, and I highly encourage you guys to check her out. So back to this Spectacular Spider-Man issue 101, a newsstand sold for 900 US dollars in a CGC 9.8 cover price daily shaker. Now, Chia, check out what's at Tabat here. You have Absolute Batman #1. This is the second print, guys, and it's coming out this week. But there was a pre-sale of a CGC 9.8 at 150 US dollars. You know how people say those later prints tend to die, nobody cares. Well, people feel otherwise when it comes to this one. You don't want to sleep if you have the opportunity. Pick it up. It's a beautiful cover.
Look, it's a gorgeous cover. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the pre-sale going for 150. Look, man, I guess we're in it right now, right? We're in the eye of the hurricane. So I mean,
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, did the shops not order enough of this? Is that what's happening at this? Who's
No,
doing the
look,
ordering for these
I,
shops? I don't
I
I don't
think
get it.
I think it's a bit of, you know, you have the hype behind this, right? A lot of people, and I'm surprised because 200,000 copies were ordered for the first printing, right? So you would figure almost every collector has at least one.
Yeah, but there's the numbers with that. I remember when it was broken down by a few people in the chat.
Yeah,
It's 200, but it's not. That includes the incentives, the
exactly. Yeah.
exclusives. The cover A wasn't as printed as much as we think.
No,
Maybe
exactly.
80,000.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, no, you're not wrong when you factor exclusives and everything, but there wasn't that many. It did expand as it got closer,
yeah.
right? There was a
Uh,
lot more that made their way as we got closer, but yes, the cover A, I agree with you. There was not too many people that were able to scoop some up. Hyper Combo Comics was here in the chat. Actually picked up a cover A just this weekend, yesterday. He got one at an
yeah,
LCS for cover price. So you know, I would imagine some shops still remain honest, etc. That they'll leave it there
yeah.
for clients and walk-ins or whatever it may be. But it did very well, cover A. And now the second printing comes out this week. We shall see. If
It's doing really well.
yeah, if you have the opportunity, definitely pick it up. And I agree with K-pop Katie saying I like all of the blue that's added to this cover. It looks great.
the, the blue is nice. Yeah, she's right. Straight
It's
up.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yo, my brother Steve is in the chat. We got to show Steve some love. Guys, Team Nerd Herd, go subscribe. Nearing Nerdvana, you'd be doing me a favor, you'd be doing Miss Bird City a favor, and you'd be doing Steve a favor if you went to subscribe because there's tons and tons of great content. In fact, guys, if you didn't know, Cover Price now has their runner-ups that take place on Nearing Nerdvana's channel as well. Steve does amazing things with the Nerd Herd crew. You've got the unboxings of the toys, which are very scary for me to watch because it is a rabbit hole I refuse to fall
Oh,
down. It is
it's so
so
dangerous. It's so dangerous.
yeah, it
You
is,
look
but
at them.
they do a great job. A great job. So guys, if
Yeah,
you like
tempting.
toys, statues, and all of that fun stuff, please go check out Steve, Team Nerd Herd over on Nearing Nirvana's channel. Sequential Geek 42 watching. Not bad. That's amazing. I'm so happy that you guys are choosing to hang out with us tonight on a Sunday when you could be watching football or anything else. So appreciate all of you guys swinging by tonight. But Absolute Batman #1, second
This is
printing.
amazing.
Yeah, CGC 98 already on a pre-sale, $150.
Awesome.
Cover price daily shaker, highest sale so far. We shall see if it continues to grow. But up next, we have Carnage USA #1. Yes, the USA. You know, I have issue 2 somewhere. I love that. I'm probably gonna post it. As we get closer to the elections now, with everything happening.
For Carnage?
Yeah, Cover USA. No, Carnage USA. Yeah, issue #2. The I Want You. I love that cover. It's so good.
Yeah,
so good.
It's a good cover.
But forget that cover for a second, because we have the 1-in-100 ratio cover by Humberto Ramos. CGC 98, $539. Not bad for a 1-in-100 ratio that's relatively old. Cover price daily shaker. I love this cover. It's neat. I didn't even know it existed, to be honest with you. I didn't know they had a 1-in-100 for this.
I had no idea this existed. I want it. It's incredible, and I could see why it goes for $540 US. It's a black cover. It's a 1-in-100. I mean, this is just, and it's, by the way, it's like a lot more violent than what Ramos usually does.
Yeah,
like it has a lot more edge to it, than his usual work. Even though I love Ramos's Venom, to be honest, in general, he did that Venom series for a while, or he did a Venom in Peter Parker's Spectre Spider-Man. I'm not sure, but I like his Venom a lot. Like even the cover that's coming out in all new Venom. I don't know if you've seen it. He has the wraparound cover.
Looks amazing.
And it's literally gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's all black. It's phenomenal. So I'm just a massive Ramo nerd. I love the guy. I love his work. I met him a few times too. He's just a cool guy. And this thing is incredible. I'd love to have this.
Hyper saying that this book is a ghost. And another thing is that everybody flocks to the Clayton Crane cover, the regular cover A, right? That's usually what you see all the time. This is not one that you see often. So to see this hit a 9.8 sale, it totally makes sense. As Hyper said, it's more of a ghost than anything else when it comes to this book. And I want to add what Chia said, put emphasis on it. Ramos doing such a cover. Yeah, man, it's neat to see. I love this.
Yeah.
But all right.
All in on this. All in.
Let's go. Oh, this is Megan Fox's best cover I've ever seen. Transformers Tales of the Fallen #1. Yep, Megan Fox photo cover. Fan Expo Canada edition. That's right. CGC 98 sold for $235 and it is this week's Baker Shaker. That's right, we're back in Baker Shaker territory. And look, okay, my eyes go one direction on this cover, but besides that, look, Megan Fox is like, she's a few steps away from needing to go to Arkham Asylum. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, some of the things I've seen online.
Listen, Megan is the kind of is the kind of lady that you have to put up with the crazy. She's that level of beauty. It's there's certain people that you just gotta take the crazy because they're that, So she's a little bit nuts. I'm more regretting the fact that I probably was at this fan expo and I never picked this up. Like, what was I doing? What kind of line was I waiting on? Why wasn't I picking up this cover back in the day? That's the...
Yeah, see, Sequential Geek, you get it.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Machine Gun Kelly is a massive douche. Yes, 100%. Yes, agreed.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. But besides the point, I did say what you guys heard, and I stand by it. It is it is her breast cover, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Look,
her breast comic cover, because I'm sure she's had a few Maxim covers that could compete with this one.
Well, now we're gonna go down a rabbit hole, guys. The show is about to change direction, but Megan Fox is beautiful. It goes without saying, and of course, I did enjoy. I'm probably one of the few that did enjoy the original Michael Bay stuff with Shia LaBeouf, and it was enjoyable for what it was. It wasn't the best thing ever. Did not give me the Transformers I was hoping for, but I took it for what it was, and it was good. And Megan Fox definitely stole many scenes Under
Oh,
the Hood, etc. There was just so many scenes. I was like, oh
and
my
Shia
god,
is good, man. Shia
yeah,
plays that character good. He plays
yeah,
that specific geek, nervous geek very well, and he's an incredible actor. Like he went
he
off the
is,
rails, but that kid can act, like seriously act.
yeah,
And I just, why did a lot of these great actors get a little bit loopy for a lot of times, But yeah, I think Transformers 1 and 3 especially were okay. They were fun popcorn films.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
way better than what happened after she left the franchise.
Eh,
Like after
I,
she left the franchise, it's been like the last two were gibberish. Not
dude,
Bumblebee.
it sucked.
Bumblebee was legit.
No,
And
this
but
Bumblebee was okay. The rest sucked, bro. Rise of the Beast was garbage, complete
the
garbage.
at one point, I gotta sorry interjecting, went a tangent. At one point, Optimus walks into the ship, frees the Dinobots, tells them, "Hey guys, you're free now,"
Yeah,
and then he goes, "Bow to me."
yeah,
So basically, they're free from the previous guy, and then they're bowing to you. Like, what? I mean, are we keeping track of what you're saying in the same sentence, Optimus? And why
yeah.
are you making people bow to you? That's not what leaders do. Like, this is
No,
weird. Like, it was just a weird vibe. It didn't
yeah,
even make sense logically. As soon as they launched Shia and Megan, the thing went downhill. To be honest, I
yeah.
gotta say,
Look, I even forget that Mark Wahlberg ended up part of,
Mark
right?
Wahlberg. It didn't even make sense. Nothing
Exactly,
makes sense.
exactly. But we enjoyed Megan Fox while she was there. Shia LaBeouf, I thought they did a great job. Megan
Yes,
for other reasons as opposed to Shia. So as you can see here, somebody thought it was worthy to spend 235 US dollars on a CGC 98 for this Transformers Tales of the Fallen #1. But let's move on because I could go on forever when it comes to Megan Fox. Giggity. The Matrix comic book preview. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before. This is a wicked book, man. It came out by
yeah.
Warner Brothers back in 1999 and it was actually recalled due to mature content, which is pretty funny because like now in 2024, the amount of stuff being printed in comics, Jesus, like I don't think things are going to get recalled. CGC 98
No,
sold for 200 US dollars. Baker Shaker this week. Again, Michael Baker, shout out to you for sending me this book. I had no idea this actually existed. I looked into the reasoning for the recall, etc. Like I said, mature content, whatever. But it's things that would have flown now. Like we literally, you just saw that Essentia cover. Come on, there was way worse things printed in time. But anyways, pretty cool book.
no, it's well, the movie's incredible, by the way. Like
Yes.
the original Matrix, the first one is
Yeah, everything else sucked.
it was never supposed to be a trilogy. It
Yeah.
was just a massive hit. I mean, Agent Smith was never was never supposed to be a main bad guy. He was a one-off. So I think they kind of got high on their own like press clippings, so it didn't work. It got a bit much afterwards, but I think the first one is legendary. And I think this book, if you find this in a 9.8 for 200 USD, you grab it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that cover. It's almost impossible to find. This is I would buy it in a second.
Yeah. Honestly, I had no idea you got this signed, man. That's amazing. Yeah. I didn't see it at Terrificon, but that's wicked. So congrats. And ironically, Keanu Reeves was there. Had you had that opportunity, man, that would have been amazing for the double sig. But yeah, man, this is a very cool book. But I personally had no idea this was a thing. And
You know,
learning about it
what,
was interesting for myself
when
this
did you
week.
find out?
This week.
Now?
Yeah, like Michael Baker sent me
Oh,
the book, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't even know this was, in existence. So clearly, they recalled it before my time, and
yeah.
and there you go. So yeah, very neat. So Matrix comic book preview CGC 98 sold for 200 US dollars. Thank you, Michael Baker. All right. Avengers, The Children's Crusade, issue #3. This is the 1 in 15 ratio cover by Arthur Adams. CGC 98, 225 US dollars. It's quite a busty list tonight, I'm not going to lie. Arthur Adams.
There's a focus on
There's a
the
theme.
ladies. Yeah, there's a theme. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Baker was going through some things.
Yeah, I can't show you guys the other selections, man. I'm going to be I'm going to be shut down. Yeah, but no, Arthur Adams, dude. Look, some people, majority like Arthur Adams. Some people are like, his work can be meh. Um,
Oh,
I get a lot of comments about his face drawings being a little strange.
they're incredible.
Yeah, I'm a fan, dude. I like Arthur Adams' work, man. I think he does a great job. The 1 in 15 ratio, CGC 98 225. I don't think that's not a bad price. I liked Avengers: The Children's Crusade, the read. Yeah, on the hunt, the kids, and ironically, some of the stuff that's going on now within Agatha, right?
It,
Yeah,
we're
exactly. You're
we're
seeing
going that way. Yeah.
exactly,
Well, look,
exactly.
I'm a sucker for Scarlet Witch. Love her. I'm a sucker for Art Adams. He's one of my favorites, top five maybe. You know,
Yeah,
and Avengers, Young Avengers, and Avengers: The Children's Crusade are two of the best Avenger stories or Avenger adjacent stories ever written.
yeah,
Alan Heinberg created a bunch of new characters and retroactively connected them to the Avengers in his own version of the kind of like the Teen Titans kind of thing,
yeah,
but with their own kind of secret connection. And as you were reading out and finding out their connections and how they were different, whether you found out Hawkling was connected to a part of the Avengers Bast, but not the Hulk. He was connected to the Kree and the Skrulls, and then you find out Wiccan and Tommy, where well, obviously they're Wanda's kids, Wanda and Vision's kids, or just maybe Wanda's kids or whatever. But
yeah.
as it unfolds, and then you find Iron Lad is connected to Kang, like all that kind of connections and all that way you find out when you're reading the story, it's riveting. It's some of the best young adult comics they've had in ages, and this cover is a ratio for an incredible series that's they're going towards this. Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if we get a story called Avengers: The Children's Crusade, or Young Avengers: Children's Crusade, or Wanda, Scarlet Witch: The Children's Crusade. Like, this is the one they're gonna do. I think before the original run of Young Avengers. I
Yeah,
think this is where we're going to. I think the kids are gonna group up and they're gonna go find Wanda. That's what I believe. That's what I think.
you're not
Spoiler,
you're
by the way.
you're not wrong. I do see it playing out. We're getting very close to that, even playing out as we speak. Like if you're watching Agatha, you would be catching on to that had you read this
Yeah.
series. But yeah, man, I totally agree. Derek saying, Ozzy, you don't like the chipmunk cheeks, and it's funny you say that because when I was on the Shaker Show with Laura and the gang, Marty and Chris, talking about J. Scott Campbell, how J. Scott Campbell tends to draw faces that look pretty much like rodents. So I don't know if that is the theme that's going on here between Arthur Adams and J. Scott Campbell. But yeah, I think Arthur Adams did a great job on this cover. CGC 98 selling for $225 US. I like this.
All in.
Yeah,
Buy this anytime I see it. If I see this at that price, I'm in. I'm in
yeah.
right now.
Exactly. But let's keep it rolling because we have Batman and Superman issue number 4. This is the German edition that is limited to 499 copies, apparently. Reprints issues 7 and 8, which you all are aware of what takes place in such. But Michael Turner, the famous cover, CGC 98, 1,850 US for this German edition, which is pretty neat to see. It's not the first time I see this sale of this book this year. I've seen this sale take place maybe 2-3 times already in the last couple of months. So this book has been coming to surface on the secondary market as of late. But I think this is neat, a great alternative, and the fact that it is a relatively low print makes it a little appealing. What do you think?
I think it's appealing, but that's massive.
It
Like
is.
that's a big ticket. Like it's really cool. I'd love to have it though. Like honestly, because first of all, it's a Michael Turner cover. There's less than 500 printed. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. And I think you had it on the show a while ago. Foreign editions.
Yeah.
They're really popping off now. Like they're really finding their traction now. So yeah, I mean this is. I'd prefer finding one like stumbling into it raw somehow and get than actually paying that. But yeah,
Yeah. Dude, Cliff saying I love Michael Turner, but this is absurd. I don't disagree with you. There's this cover has been done as exclusive. It was an exclusive. I forget which book. Was it Batman Superman issue 8? Um, I believe so. But besides the point, look, I do like foreign comics, as Michael Baker said. It's very interesting to see some of these foreign sales take place, but it is a beautiful Michael Turner cover. Of course, Kara Zor-El, reintroduction of Supergirl. It's a great story, but I think what really weighs into this is the scarcity, right? I think that's the only thing that.
That's the only thing that's why people. So like, I think like there's like certain completionists, like right now we're seeing a lot of Dave Stevens completionists right now, right?
Yes,
Going
yes,
crazy. So I
yeah,
think now, I mean, it would be a bit harder for George Perez because he has so much work, so it's hard to be a completionist. But I think Dave Stevens having less so, and I think Michael Turner even less. Uh, they would probably, that's why this people have went crazy for it. They're completionists. I think there never been like a Mike Waringo, who was also another artist
yeah,
completionist. Like, he never hit that type of kind of like level of scarcity of books, but Turner hit that. People love Turner's work, and
yeah,
the scarcity just drove them nuts. I guess. Like honestly, that's what happened.
yeah. Exactly. Well said. But
Yeah,
anyways, the German edition of Batman Superman issue number
Z
4.
Germans.
Yeah, Z German CGC 98 $1,850 US dollars. Wild. But all right, guys, it's Halloween season, and of course, the Devil's Rejects. You remember that? Rob Zombie, baby. It was printed by IDW in 2005, and no surprise to see a CGC 98 sell for 175 US dollars at this time of year. Chia, did you have a chance to watch The Devil's Rejects? Are you into this type of stuff?
I despise gore movies,
Yeah,
and this is gore. My brother loves Rob Zombie movies.
yeah,
I will not watch them. I cannot do it. I don't have the stomach for it. This is something like Sam and Jeb would be into, and Squirrel Girl for some bizarre reason.
yeah,
But but I can't do it. I don't have the stomach for it. But my brother, who has very good taste in movies, thinks it's
yeah.
an excellent movie. By the way, he
Yeah,
like him and he's like, man, it's a good movie. It's not just like a gory movie. I just can't do it. It spooks me out too much.
yeah. This is why I'm closer to your brother than I am with you. But
Straight
yeah,
up, yeah.
dude, yeah, it's I loved it, man. Rob Zombie is just absolute madness. From whether it be cinema or it be music, some people feel a certain way. I enjoyed it, man. I grew up with the Rob Zombie stuff, so this was a neat sale. I thought it was cool to see the book. CGC 98 selling for 175 US dollars. You got Seven Magic saying he knows who priced this book. Tell me more, buddy. Tell me more in the chat. I'm curious. But yeah, Devil's Rejects sold in a CGC 98, 175. Chia, Dr. Afra number 1. I want to talk about this because this came out by Marvel in 2017. It's the 1 in 100 ratio cover by Jamie McKelvey and a CGC 98 sold for 432 US dollars. Baker Shaker this week, but what I want to say is this 1 in 100 is selling for more than her actual first appearance. Madness.
That is weird.
I look, I'm gonna
The cover is great, by the way. The cover's great.
phenomenal cover, but I would assume maybe it's scarcity. I don't know what played factor into this.
It has to be that.
But like I said, the first appearance of Dr. Afro is going for cheaper than this.
Didn't I see somewhere where people seem to be gravitating towards the first series more than the first appearance sometimes?
It was
Like
I think it was your brother who was saying this in a group chat.
yeah. So the first series seems to be siphoning off some attention from the first appearance in
Yeah,
a few instances, lately especially.
it could be, but like I said, the fact of scarcity, yeah, it's just a rare cover. See, Michael Baker
Thank you,
saying,
Ben.
yeah, you don't see this one too often, and then you got Deeds saying, I think it's a rare cover, and that's pretty much what plays into this. First app of Dr. Afro does have 4 printings, but the first printing itself is dirt cheap, dirt cheap.
Listen, I think she's a great character. Every time I see the first printings, I snatch them up.
Yeah, and like I said, they're very fair price right now. Now is a good
Yeah.
time to buy it up. I think Dr. Afra, it goes without saying, tons of potential. It's only a matter of time. That's really what it's coming down to.
Yeah, I really believe so. Like now with the kind of like they're that they're pushing kind of like through the original trilogy and going into the post original trilogy storylines now.
Yeah.
I think she may become a lot more prominent. And I'm just hoping that Filoni grabs her and puts her in the Mandoverse.
Yeah. But
And
anyways,
then all bets are off.
let's kick it to the next book, which is Thor: God of Thunder, issue number 2. Of course, the first appearance of Gore, the God Butcher, and we get the All Black. 1:50 ratio by Daniel Acuna. Beautiful cover, CGC 98, $378. It's come down quite a bit, factoring, even the regular cover A, man. We saw this explode before. We got Thor, Love and Thunder,
Love
which
and Thunder,
was
yeah.
whatever. But besides the movie, this 1:50 ratio at $378. I was impressed to see this sale. I think it's fair now where it's at.
I think it's. If anything, it's slightly low. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I've never seen this cover. It's the first time.
Really?
I think it's gorgeous. I think it's a fair, if anything, a little bit slightly undervalued. And I'm saying that I think Gore, there's you never know. Guys, that soft reboot of Secret Wars is the hope for all villains who got mistreated in the first.
Make a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. It's been there for years, but that's the hope, right? That we get to see a better or more, not since I think Bale's portrayal of Gore was fine, just properly in a proper storyline with Gore. Matching the director to the content would be a good start.
Yeah, we could only hope. But as Michael Baker's saying, another cover you don't see as often. And that's what I'm saying is I'm surprised to see it at this point now because it was well up there. Deed saying I'm surprised to still see it this high. They did Gore dirty. Yes. The cover A, I totally understand why it's hit the drop it has hit, but this particular cover, the 1:50, given it's a ghost, I'm not surprised to see where it's at. I think it's cooled off at a very fair level. So yeah, Thor: God of Thunder, issue number 2, the 1:50 ratio by Daniel Acuna, CGC 98, $378. Not bad. Let's get back into Sonic. Yes, Chia, I know you're excited, but Sonic
super excited.
Yeah, number 1. This came out by Sega in fall 1991. It's the rare mini promo. So it's not a full-sized comic.
I remember this.
Yeah, it was a mini promo that had come out, and there's only 68 CGC 98s on the census, and one of those 98s sold this week for $1,195. Not too bad. I've seen higher sales, but still an impressive sale nonetheless. There's a few DC books where you have promos as well, but those came out after the fact. The promos are actually stapled within the book. You get like 10-page preview of what's taking place. One of them being Detective Comics. I forget which one. I'll tell you guys in just a bit. But this promo, you said you remember it, right? You saw this circulating.
I think I remember it coming with. Was it the one that came with the video game itself, or is it possible?
No, I don't think it came with the video game.
Maybe that's where I saw it, and I'm thinking there was one that came to video because I remember this distinctly. I don't know where I saw it, but I remember this. Maybe I'm just remembering the tiles on the floor, and I'm making that. I don't know. I mean, for some reason, this rings a bell.
If it came with the game, that would make a lot of sense. But I don't know if the game came out in fall 1991. That I don't remember off the top of my head. So I think that's a way we could look at that. But
we're old, Harry. We're old.
Yeah, Detective Comics 639. I had shown this off on a previous show. Within the book, there's a 10 or 12, 16, 18 page preview, whatever it is, of this. It's basically this book. Now, the mini promo that we're showing you tonight is, like Michael Baker said, within the slab. It's like dead center. It takes up like not even a half of the slab. So it's fun to look at on that aspect, but a very cool thing to have if you're a Sonic fan. So CGC 98, nearly $1,200, man. Insane. You have Harry asking as well, wasn't it with the game? I think so. I'm not too sure, to be honest. So we could look into that. And yeah, the original Sonic game came out in '89. There you go. So that makes a little more sense because I don't recall the game dropping in '91. Screw it. I'm checking it now because it's going to bother me. Sonic the Hedgehog 1 release date. So yeah, the game did come out in 91. June 23rd, 1991 is when the game came out.
I'm telling you, it was with the game.
Yeah, but if it came with the game released in June, why would it come out in fall? Now I'm
Is it
going to do
just
homework
cover?
on this.
Is it just cover dated to the fall? Because you know that there's like they cover date something fall, but it gets released earlier, right? You know that, right?
That's true. That's true. So if this
Yeah.
did come out with the game, that would be wicked. I'm, seeing only 68.98 on the census makes sense because, being
Nobody cared about it.
a 90s kid, yeah, you would have totally mistreated that. So, yeah, there you go. Harry saying it was with the game. So there you go. Thank you, Harry, for clarifying. That's very neat. $1,200 for a CGC 98. So I hope you kept it intact if you had the game back when you were a kid. Now, Chia, I know you're going to take a deep dive into this conversation. We got Batman The Long Halloween, issue number 6, DC 1997, first appearance of Sophia Falcone, raw near mint, 176 US dollars for this raw near mint. Guys, I can't stress it enough. If you're not watching The Penguin, you're slacking. And The Penguin, I went into that. Colin Farrell blew me away, absolutely blew me away. But Sophia is stealing the show at 100%. She, in the last few episodes, has really made me want to tune in for her, man.
Look, this book, first of all, is gorgeous. Like when you see it, my brother just picked up one recently, actually, at Harry's sale. It's just yes, Tim Sale, Derek, great call on that. Rest in peace. An incredible artist. And I remember, he's been good from the get-go. Very unique style. Had that kind of like black, white type thing that Miller did with Sin City, but he took it to a different level. This cover, literally, it's captivating. The full black that it is and everything, and the green. Yeah. And the show, has elevated this character to a different a level that I can't even imagine that what happened. It doesn't even make sense. It's so well written. Matt Reeves has done such an incredible job in The Batman and this now. Colin Farrell he's riveting. At first I'm like, he doesn't really look enough like the Penguin, but then you're watching him and you could see the Penguin mannerisms come through in his acting. It's just so good.
The walk,
the walk is what gets it. I don't think we got a lot of the walk in Batman as much in the Batman. I think we see it a lot more here, the wobble that he has. And I'm like, man, this show is a masterpiece. There's Val mentioned today where I thought, I mentioned how I think Penguin may be the best comic book show. And then I go, okay, just like I think Andor is the best sci-fi / Star Wars show, bar none, And that's no offense to anything else. These are just so good that I think they're just they're up there with like True Detective season 1, which is like one of the greatest seasons of television ever. He mentioned The Watchmen, the continuation of the first Watchmen comic, is also a banger series. It's also like perfection, and it actually taught us real history. Like I had never knew about that massacre of the Black Wall Street. I had never known. I was 40 years old, and I'm like, what? This is actually history? And we were never even taught about this, and they incorporated it into the show. It's in The Watchmen, and that's the kind of level of kind of craft we're watching in the Penguin. I think it's I at first I'm like, oh, they have to end the Reeves verse because they're gonna have 2 Batmans and I can't do it. Like how are they gonna do it? Like I could do it. I don't care. Give me more content. That's great as much as possible. But how is the regular people gonna do it? I'm like, no, man. Just let Reeves do as many projects as he wants in his own little Elseworld corner. Yeah. He earned it, and go give us a funner DC type Batman in the DC Gunverse. I'm good. Let's do it. Let's have 2 of them.
Yeah, I'm all for it, dude. I think the show has been so good that anything, coming close to even ending this and we never see them again would be fatal. Like we need more of this.
More Reeves verse as possible. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, his
exactly.
yeah.
And I do want to say, Kristen Milotti, phenomenal actress, but man, there's just something sexy about her in this show. Like
She's a pretty girl, and she has a wicked kindness to her that she's reveling in it. And then I found out that she's an OG comic geek as well.
oh
She loves comics too.
yeah,
Why do people have to trash Henry Cavill?
it is what it is. But yeah, man, I think she's doing a phenomenal job. I
Yeah.
can't wait. Immediately after this show, I'm
Oh
going.
no! Like I got my Niners going, and then I got the Penguin, and I got to finish up some work. So I'm booked tonight. Booked solid.
There you go. But anyways, Ron Year Mint sold for $176 of Batman: The Long Halloween issue number 6. Now, 2 more books on the list. I want to show you guys this neat book because we don't see it too often. But Captain Marvel issue 14. It's the 1-in-30 ratio by Amanda Connor, and it's the cameo of Kamala Khan. You guys know exactly which book this is, but again, like I said, a cover you don't see too often. CGC 98 sold for $2,025 US dollars. Baker Shaker and Michael Baker, shout out to you because he told me he saw the sale take place over on Comic Link. This is another ghost of a book when it comes to ratios, very up there on in price, and this is not the highest sale, guys. Like the book is consistent at this point. So, yeah.
This era of Marvel, the books weren't printed high, right? That's another thing.
Yeah.
These were low printed books because so the 1-in-30, like how many other are even in existence at that moment, So yeah, I could see what. Look, I wouldn't. I mean, the cover's not nice enough for me to go after it. Like that's not my thing. Even though I'm a fan of I like Kamala Khan. I think she's actually a fun character, and they did a good job with her. I'm not a big enough fan, and don't like the cover enough to warrant the money. It just doesn't do it for me,
Yeah.
But I guess there are people out there who just love Captain Marvel that much, or Amanda Connor, who really, I like her work, but I just don't like this one enough, to be honest with
you. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Shout out to Dan Delatorre, who's here in the chat. I may have missed you earlier in the show, so I apologize.
What's up, Dan?
Yeah, but Dan, thank you so much for hanging out. Last week, we gave away those 2 slabs by Michael Baker. Michael Baker donated 2 awesome slabs, but hang tight, guys. I see right now I am sitting at 646 subscribers. There's going to be another giveaway taking place. Dan Delatorre is actually donating a slab as well. So shout out to Dan Delatorre. Show him some love. Go check out Spine Ticks. Go support Dan Delatorre. Check him out over on Instagram as well. Nothing but love for Dan. Yes, I agree with you guys. TKO saying that this is crazy. Anthony saying $2,000 just buy the regular cover. Yeah. Hey, there's people that love the scarcity, and I totally respect that. I understand. $2,000 is definitely up there for Captain Marvel issue 14.
Just let me say something about that. Like a lot of times we're like, who would pay this? The reality is the people who are even in the waters for things like this at this price, $2,000 for them is like $200 for us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a different. They're a different type of collector in as far as their prices. They're not like us where they're not contemplating what $2,000 means.
Yeah.
When you're going all in for this specific thing, you're just basically on a different level. So it's basically like us going in for like a $300 book. Do we really want it? Debating it. That's the kind of thing.
Exactly.
So it's a different level of collector and I presume. I mean, I hope nobody's putting away their mortgage for a 1-in-30 Amanda Connor Captain Marvel 14.
Yeah. So shout out to Derek for letting us know there's only 25 9/8 on the census, guys, when it comes to this book. So it's relative. It's not much in 9/8, bro. It's not much. Like 25 is fucking, dude. How many states are there in the United States? Because it doesn't even cover fucking half of that.
Fair enough. Yes.
So there you go.
Covers exactly half of that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Sorry. But anyway, CGC 98 sold for $2,000. Crazy sale. Captain Marvel issue 14. And I want to show you guys this. It was the talk of town this week. Doom #1. The Whatnot / Marvel trading a pack from New York Comic Con 2024. Red foil. Limited to 24. Raw near mid sale. $1,600. It was a cover price daily shaker. And ironically, this sold for the exact amount as the Ultimate Spider-Man 1, that red foil that we spoke about on the cover price shakers list on Thursday. It seems the seller was actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's somebody that I've seen in the cover price chats every week. And he seems to be a very generous, nice guy. I don't know the guy personally, but the sale took place, and it seems to have been on his eBay account. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he also sold that Ultimate Spider-Man at the same price, and it had only one bid on it. So people were a little skeptical on this sale, on the sales, both sales, to be honest with you. Shout out to Mr. Longshort, because I saw it over on his Instagram with the Ultimate Spider-Man 1 sale. But this, yes, it was Nimish Patel. Yes, I know exactly who it is, Derek. So thank you. But yeah, the 1,600 US sale. Look, valid or not valid. If you think anything took place behind the scenes, sure. But let's just go with this is a legitimate sale. Chia, bro, what's your thoughts on these? Because that's $3,200 amongst two books. But let's just talk the Doom one. I'm surprised it's not your brother who bought this at this price, but
No, this is, I mean, we're talking about the other sale.
No, we're talking.
No, I know, but we're talking about the $2,000 sale that we talked about for the 1 in 30 with a 10-year-old book. Come on, this is something that's become. Look, like those trading pack things. I think they're cool. It's fun, as long as you treat it in a fun manner. Okay, like this seems a little bit absurd, and I think this, it has the danger of just trying to manufacture scarcity from something. So they're piggybacking on a wonderful book by two incredible creators. And they're kind of like, oh, people love this. Let's manufacture scarcity with this, right? And I think that's a little bit disingenuous, to be honest with you. And I think it's playing up on the worst tendencies of us as collectors. So, like I said, I don't mind the trading pack stuff. I kind of like it, but I think this is kind of whack, to be honest with you. Like, if anybody, I mean, again, the people paying it though, like I said before, are a different price point than us. Like, I mean, if this is a legit sale, these dudes don't care about money. Like, they have so much disposable income that they don't care. Like,
exactly. Well said. And one thing, because you're talking about the packs, and I just want to clarify for TKO in case he's maybe mistaken here, but it's not a card, it's the actual comic. But what Whatnot did is they have trading packs, comics. Basically, it's like a card pack, sealed, but you get 3 comics inside, and then you hope for hitting such a book as such, where it's limited to 24, which was the red foils. And the sale is very, very up there. Very surprising to see it. I also understand that there was a lot of hype behind the Doom book. There's hype behind Doom in general related to the MCU and what's happening within comics. This book exploded this year, but this sale at $1,600 is very interesting. It's absolutely wild. I do agree with Ozzy how both sales are questionable, because
definitely 100%,
and both being at the exact same amount of $1,600. So I don't know how I feel about that. It does give me a little suspicion behind the sale. It's like, okay, who in their right mind, would want to just throw it?
If it's a legit sale, I'm telling you guys, it's people that don't give an F about money.
Yeah,
that's the only logical thing, and we can't even take them into account. Like, people that buy this kind of stuff at this price, you have to almost disregard them from thinking, because they're dealing on a different plane. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Like,
Harry's saying in the chat that he would spend $1,600, and
no,
look,
Harry, no, you wouldn't. I would not let you to spend that money.
yeah.
I would tell you no.
if,
No, 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 no,
but
no, no.
if he wants to, by all means, that's on Harry. But besides the point,
I would not let my friend do it. I
yeah,
would fight him.
yeah. Definitely. We'll tie him down and take over his credit card for a minute. But Comic Ozzy saying there is a third Spider-Man red foil at 1,600 on the 25th. So I assume you're saying that there was a third sale. That's absolutely wild, man. It's crazy to see, and it's interesting. I feel a certain way. I'm not into the gimmick stuff, but props to Whatnot. And like I said, I'm not pro Whatnot, guys. I don't have a Whatnot account where I sell. I go on to support friends like Comic Ozzy, who I highly encourage you all go check out his sale this Tuesday. But yeah, like we all are blaming Whatnot for these packs, but Marvel's equally tied to this. It's the exact same thing. So I think it's, on a business perspective, genius on their end, both ends. On a collector side, it's madness to see what's taking place on the secondary market. I think that's where I'm a little puzzled seeing these $1,600 sales, but we'll see. Um, you know how these packs or these polls do in the future moving forward. But guys, that was the market report. We have one more segment, and it's going to be a little short one because it's just the hot topics of the week. Nothing too crazy, but do stick around because it's spicy. Chia, I know you're ready, right?
Always,
There you go.
always.
There you go. Thank you. All right. The choppy transition continues, and so does this show. So, we're going to get into the hot topics portion of the show where we go through some of the news that broke this week. So, let's kick it off, Mr. CHIAPET, with the first one being this right here. Marvel Studios' Blade has been removed from the 2025 release calendar, presumably delayed indefinitely. That's right, the horror story is going to just simply continue. And it doesn't just end here, guys. It gets a tad bit worse. I mean, unless you're a fan of Predator, because, well, not only has it been moved, guys, they're replacing it with a new Predator movie. Blade. Is it ever going to come to be, Chia? What's your thoughts?
The last Predator movie was amazing. So
It
and the same
was.
creator and the same creators doing this one. So why would that be a problem? I think it's good. So I'm just gonna go say that that's great news. I have a few things to say about the Blade movie because I don't understand what a lot of people. Okay, guys, Marvel's made like 50 to 60 projects. Can we agree to that?
Somewhere there, yeah.
Yeah, like how many of them have gotten this type of delays? None.
Well, I don't think anything's been worse treated than Blade.
It's not the worst treated. The dude, the actor, who's an Academy Award-winning actor, is demanding a specific type of script.
Yeah.
And he got script approval. And the guy's like, I'm not making a movie that I don't approve. He's just pushing it back on it.
Could you imagine?
And I think it's actually, by the way, a good thing that they're taking their time to make sure that the storyline is going to be good. I think it's not a bad thing. And supposedly, again, I tend to follow people who actually know what's happening in the industry, not the kind of frivolous kind of sites like other ones. And Jeff Snyder, the Insider, he's on John Roca's channel often for the hot mic. He came out recently after this came out, and he said Marshall Ali is fully on board with delays, loves the latest script, and has no problem with the delays. He has zero problems because he's the one asking for the changes. How can you have problems if you're the one that's the impetus of the changes and the delays? And again, I think it's good that they delay. And by the way, if you know how movies made, I'm just saying, if they hadn't started the production in May, there was no way they were meeting a November release date. Impossible. So the fact that they pulled it off the release schedule was just a formality. Everybody knew after like May and June, when the last director left, that this
Yeah.
movie would never be released in November. Like, it was not even being discussed. The formality just triggered this weird kind of talk. And then the other weird thing about a 70-year-old Wesley Snipes being the new
Yeah.
Blade.
Yeah.
Like, dudes, like, I'm giving you a heads up for all the people who love Blade. If Wesley Snipes is the MCU Blade, here's a heads up of what's going to happen. He's going to die, and it's
Yeah.
going to be his daughter who takes over. Because there's no way you're starting a franchise with a 70-year-old.
No.
It's
No. For
impossible.
sure.
I don't care about Black not cracking. It doesn't matter. He's
Yeah.
70. It's never going to happen. So what I heard from Alex P. from the Cosmic Circus is they're shelving most of the projects that don't have similar stories to the Multiverse Saga. They want to wrap up the Multiverse Saga. So what they're going to do is they're going to push stories like Blade or Armor Wars post, maybe Young Avengers,
Yeah.
post Multiverse Saga. They're going to wrap up. They're going to gear up to the Doomsday and the Multiverse Saga. They're going to do their anything on the Battle World, on the Void type world that's going to be post Doomsday, pre Secret Wars. They're going to wrap up Secret Wars, and then they're going to continue these storylines that we want to see with the other characters. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I love Sam.
Yeah. No, but it just seems like it's the other thing. I don't know if we're going to get to Agatha. And a bunch of people who are working in the industry keep saying, oh, Elizabeth Olsen's not coming back. You think they're going to invest in characters?
Cliff, you're not entirely wrong here.
Yeah, I think the Captain America movie was in production with CHIAPET, though, Cliff, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
like people in the industry talking about this, or then the ones that comment about like Agatha's, is Elizabeth Olsen really dead? Like, dude, it's okay for me and you to speculate that. But anybody who's watched movies and it's in the industry and they're investing in Wanda's kids and you never saw a body and you're asking that question because Elizabeth Olsen went in an interview and said, I'm happy to be on away from Marvel for a while. Like, you're immature or you're dumb. I want to say that's it. That's right. I'm making all sorts of enemies in the industry, Sam. I don't care.
Doesn't care. But no, I agree with you. Great points. As long as the movie's done properly, I don't expect to see it. Maybe even it's for sure going to be post Secret Wars. That's really what we're looking at. So,
but just do it good. Like, take time and do good stuff. Less stuff, but good stuff. That's all we care about.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all, man. Not one bit. Derek's saying, but the different stuff is great because it's not related to the multiverse. Yeah, I agree. Moon Knight, absolutely.
No, I get it, Derek. I agree with what you're saying, but I think they just want to finish up this phase now. What they started, they want to get the X-Men into the streamlined universe. They want to do whatever recastings they want to do, and they just want to go with it. You know, I don't think they want to be tied. They want to finish that storyline now, and I think they started off so many storylines in these last two phases that people seem a little bit discombobulated.
Yeah,
so I think they just want to streamline it. They want to prune it. They want to get it to where it's going to be, and then they want to go. That's what I think the plan is. Well, according to Alex P., who seems to be pretty connected in the Cosmic Circus.
Yeah, there's another thing. There's another thing that I had seen, which was actually this regarding Mahershala. Sorry, first I want to talk about this. I don't know if you guys saw this. Alien Romulus
looks great.
Yeah, going to be hitting VHS, guys, in a limited edition. Since we were talking Predator, I figured why not talk Alien. I think this is neat. This is something I would totally pick up and keep sealed. CGC also does gradings when it comes to VHSs, so I think it's cool to see something come to VHS after such a long time. There are companies out there, I've come across Instagram profiles where they do, today's stuff. Like, you can get the latest WrestleMania 40 done on VHS with a whole VHS artwork setup that is just so nice. But Alien Romulus coming straight to VHS exactly on December 3rd, when we're going to get the Blu-ray and all of that jazz released this year. I think it's cool. So limited edition. I don't know if you guys saw this, but since we were on the talk of Mahershala Ali, I saw this, and Chia, we were laughing about this backstage because this is not confirmed, guys, but just wanted to bring this up. Apparently, sorry, I made the screen big. Actor Mahershala Ali reportedly negotiating with DC Studios to portray the Martian Manhunter in James Gunn's new DCU. I know we're joking. This could be legit or not, right now this is nothing confirmed. But how funny would it be if this actually did take place?
I think he'd be a great as the Martian Manhunter because he's a great actor, straight up.
Yes.
Um, so I'd love it. I think this was a fan cast, and then they just picked it up. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
like I heard a lot of people like, "Oh, you're not doing Blade, just come do Martian Manhunter." Um, but I mean, I'd be all for it. Like, I mean, anything they can get in Marshall Ali doing a character and elevating Martian Manhunter to an awesome level, I'd love it. This is better news for Martian Manhunter than the last Dennis Camp Javier for Rodriguez, I think, with the artist. Absolute Martian Manhunter, which I didn't like at all.
Yeah.
I'm all for trippy stuff, but the Play-Doh one that he made, I just can't get into it. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, I just didn't do it for me. So I'm a lot more into this news about the Martian Manhunter than the absolute news. So how's
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
But it is interesting. It was funny. I came across this. I'm like, man, this would be the ultimate fu if that actually did take place. I don't think
Well,
it's
they
gonna
they,
happen.
they got to do it because they got Cavill, right? The rumors is Cavill's gonna be in the MCU,
Yeah. So
so they want to tit for tat, right?
yeah, it would be hilarious. But anyways, I came across this and just thought I
Yeah.
should share. But speaking of delays, man, Disney Plus Marvel animation series Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man has reportedly been delayed as well until 2025. We were supposed to be getting this now towards the end of year. We're going to be getting the comic, but another project delayed. So Marvel pushing a few projects. I'm okay with this. Nothing too crazy. This isn't really need a full pin discussion. Um,
But they're going next year. Next year though, they're gonna
yeah,
get that Daredevil next year, and what else? That's a lot of stuff. Anyways, whatever. I'm good with it. This way. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm definitely
yeah,
not complaining, but
yeah.
okay, we'll wait a few more months. It is what it is. But yeah, another project getting a little bit pushed. But moving on from that, since we're on the topic of Spider-Man, this was interesting because Spider-Man 4 gets an official release date of July 2020 24 2026. Now, the film's still entitled, but what's interesting is that when you look at the date right now, it's currently set to take place smack in the middle of Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Yep.
That's very intentional. You and I were going back and forth over a lot of theories as to why it's probably taking place here.
I listen. Uh, I love the first Spider-Man trilogy. It got. I mean, I think uh, Homecoming was awesome.
Yeah.
And No Way Home was a grand scale, just the perfect in the end the pandemic type feel good movie that just made everybody like in the theater. It's by the way, it's the only single starring superhero movie to ever make like $2 billion or 1.9 billion. You know, because
Wild.
Spider-Man is the best of all the characters. That's legit the reality. So I'm excited for this. I heard rumors it's gonna be called Brand New Day, but now with the other rumors we're hearing about it being on Battle World, is that really gonna be what they're gonna do? You know,
No.
uh, is it? But they might also do it like the Ant-Man movie where it's everything until Doomsday, right? You get what I mean? Like
Yeah.
where Captain Marvel and Ant-Man took place before the
Yeah.
events of Infinity War.
They
So
could definitely do that.
it could end with Spidey coming face to face with RDJ Doom,
Yeah, that would be
right?
wild.
That could be how it ends, like, you know, like so. That's very well how it could be. So we're presuming that it's going to be necessarily, or it ends with him getting the symbiote and then entering whatever he gets, right?
I
Like,
I I strongly feel like at some point in that film, possibly even the ending, he's gonna end up with the symbiote because, well, we're gonna talk Venom in just a bit. But I I really think that that piece of symbiote that dropped off of Eddie Brock before he got teleported was within the MCU. Um, should that take place, it's almost perfect for that to take place because I would want to see that. I would want to see, Spidey end up with the black suit. He's back to basics right now. So I don't want to see a movie take place between Doomsday and Secret Wars where so much has happened and we've missed out. So what CHIAPET is saying, and it's something I strongly can see as well, is how it's the film will, yes, drop in between the two movies, but I think we're going to see timeline wise a bit beforehand
yeah,
leading up to it because it wouldn't make sense. I know people are making a ton of assumptions as to what may be taking place, but realistically, it almost doesn't feel right if that were to take place. It's like, okay, we just saw him swinging out of his shitty apartment at the end of No Way Home, and he's back to basics. He just sewed himself a new suit, and here we are. We advance, and like we're already into another big multiverse thing. It doesn't add up. You want to
Yeah, but
see,
I remember the majority of us are like, oh, we love to see the Daredevil thing. Dude, that movie, first of all, I want to just go. The first two Spider-Man movies were not, they were street level. I mean, he's fighting people in
yeah,
London, and he's fighting the Vulture wearing a hoodie. So I mean, all the tropes that they added about RDJ and the talking suit. At the end of the day, it was Peter versus the villain with no extra help. Like I just like let's be frank again. Like I mean, he uses his spider sense to beat Mephisto, to beat Mysterio, and he uses just his will to survive to beat Mysterio. He learns to that. The other things were just dressings. I just want to say the third
yeah,
one was the biggest success, and it was a multiverse movie, right?
yeah,
So I maybe us being a comic community that knows Spider-Man so well, we want um, a street level Spider-Man like that. But the movie going public may not really
yeah,
resonate with that. They just might want to have a great Spider-Man movie with a lot of those larger than life tropes, right?
yeah,
And a lot of people say, "Oh, Spider-Man's not an Avenger." Dude, he's been an Avenger for like 20, 25 years now.
yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
that's like Quesada saying, "Oh, Spider-Man's not supposed to be married." Dude, he was at that moment he was married to Mary Jane as long as he wasn't married. Like at the end of the day, things change, and the status quo has changed. Like
Yeah,
Peter is no longer the young guy; Miles is the young guy that does that. I'm just playing
yeah,
devil's advocate on the story and Mr. Negative. That's what I want as a story. I'm just saying I may be in the minority in
yeah,
out of the Twitter sphere and out of the comic bubble. That's all I'm saying, and I
yeah.
recognize that. You know,
Yeah, but just to end off though, I do want to bring up Sequential Geek saying that this is not Spider-Man, and he went into reasons as to why he felt so. Look, when I first came out of Homecoming, I was like, "What did I just watch, bro?" Like I kind of felt like it was a good movie, but I did not feel that was my Spider-Man, not my Peter Parker. Um, Tom Holland grew on me. He grew on me coming, Civil War. I liked him in Civil War, and then we got Homecoming, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm not too sure how I feel about this. And as we continued to go on, I would say by no, like Infinity War is really where Tom Holland grew on me as Spider-Man. But to say it's the comic book version of Spider-Man we've all come to know, no, absolutely not. It's totally
I,
different.
I disagree. I think all the Marvel characters, especially in the first phases, have had different situations around them,
Yeah,
but they've always acted like their characters.
yeah,
I think Peter acts like Peter throughout the whole thing. The
yeah,
nervous energy, the wisecracking, and the most of anybody, I would only maybe say uh, Andrew Garfield tried to incorporate a little bit of that wisecrackiness
I
as well.
I, I feel like Andrew Garfield had it down packed,
And I
down
think
pat.
Andrew Garfield's body type kind of was reminded me of like a Bagley drawing
Yeah,
of uh
Spidey.
about Spidey. What I'll say like Tom Holland and Toby are a little bit more like the classic Romita body type.
Yeah,
But as far as like how they act in the situations and how they respond to the situations they're put in, I think that it's very similar to Peter. I, to be honest with you, I think that he's
in their
always
own
acted
way,
like Peter.
in their own way, I agree.
I think he's the wisecracking, the nervous energy, the intelligence, the resourcefulness, the sense of responsibility, the guilt. I think it's all there.
Yeah, but
And the
anyway,
self-reliance at the end of the day, too. He
yeah, well,
chose not to be part of the Avenger. He rejected the RDJ.
yeah.
Uh, I,
Yeah, no,
I'm either a
I
real
get
MJ.
it. I get it.
Yeah.
I just like I said, in his own way, yes, he has that core down, but there's a lot that just felt off, right? When you first watch it. For me, that's how I felt. After that, it totally grew on me. But speaking Spider-Man, guys, it's not gonna end here when we talk Spidey because Well, we got some first glimpses here at Spider-Man Noir, which looks absolutely incredible. I think
Yep.
it's sick. Look at these photos as the slide continues. You can see here we have Spider-Man Noir, 1930s New York style, baby. This I'm
Loving it.
so ready for. Amazon is going to be bringing this to us. It's looking great. It looks cool, man. I love this.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I'm not going to dive into news and details about this, but I just think as a first glimpse here, it's looking really cool, man. I wonder how it's gonna look when you watch it on TV. Is it gonna have like a grainy uh feel to it? Is it gonna be black and white? So what are they gonna do just to give us that old school feel? But as a first glance, I think this looks
I
pretty
I've
cool.
never been hyped for a Sony project.
Yeah,
I am for this one.
yeah, exactly, man. It looks pretty cool, dude. Seriously, I Amazon hasn't let me down on some superhero stuff. Like with
I'm sold on this. That's it.
yeah,
I'm sold on that. I like I said, it's the only one I've ever said, yeah, you know what? I'm pumped for this. He looks amazing.
yeah. The chat is making me laugh, saying Nick Cage is also the true Superman and Spider Man.
That
So
that is
facts.
that's gold. Derek won the night.
Yeah, and so did Sam. So did Sam. So shout outs to both ways.
Sam tried to do the win the night, and then Derek upstaged him. That's the
He,
reality. We have to
he
accept
did.
it.
But speaking Spider-Man, I found this to be interesting. Out of New York Comic Con, we didn't get to speak about it last week, but Todd McFarlane announced that Spawn 77 is going to be coming out, and it's releasing April 2025. This is based on the original artwork, the original design he had for Spawn. That he drew back in 1977, which is pretty neat. I like the fact they're doing this, but holy shit, that's Spider Boy. I saw this, I was like, that's Spider Boy,
That is Spider Boy. I can't believe it. I didn't even notice.
right?
That's amazing. Yeah.
So I was like, man, did Todd totally not see Spider Boy? Did he not like hit up
The
Marvel and be
glass,
like, hey,
the eyes are exactly like Spider Boy.
it's nuts. The colors, everything. It feels like Spider Boy grown up. Like I guess this is
Yeah,
his
yeah,
future. But
yeah.
yeah,
It's
no, I'm
awesome.
interested. I'm interested to learn about like what's taking place in Spawn 77. Todd McFarlane's original idea for Spawn. The design, it looks great. Mark Spears is the one that's actually doing the artwork, and it looks incredible. It goes without saying, Mark Spears is on fire, absolute fire, especially in 2024. But
Yeah,
anyways,
no, this is incredible. This is I can't wait for this.
yeah, we're gonna just touch on DC before we move on to some of the biggest topics of the night. But James Gunn clarifies how the new DCU will make DCU events canon. Now, what he had said about this is that they're basically going to make reference within the upcoming movies about things that have happened, events, etc. So,
No, don't.
yeah, that was my feel as well. And I was wondering, I'm like, what events are they going to really talk about? Are they going to talk about The Flash? Are they going to talk about that? You know what I mean? Like the last movie? Are we going to get those types of references? Because if we're not moving forward, let's say with Aquaman, if Jason Momoa is not there, are they going to reference that shit? Like, why? I don't feel the
Yeah,
need. Do you?
no, no. Pass, pass, pass.
Big
Don't do
pass.
this, James. Don't do this. Just cut it off.
Yeah, it's making Dan
You're
Torre
gone.
sound a little more sane
Yeah.
when we talk James Gunn now. Seeing this,
Just leave him and crypto on a cloud and let everything go.
yeah, dude, I agree. Just move forward. I don't want to see
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
other than the Penguin. I just want to see Sophia Falcone and the
Yes.
Penguin move forward, literally. But anyways, besides the point, one last topic before we get to the main topic. I don't know if you guys saw this. Again, I made it big. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, LeBron James apparently wants to get into comics again. Doesn't know where to hop in. That's pretty much the topic here. But James Gunn extends an offer to help LeBron James dive back into comics. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I DM'd LeBron James. I hit him up and I said, "Hey, dude, I have a Sunday show. If ever you want to talk comics, you want to learn about comics, feel free to tune in. Hop on. You're more than welcome." I would be more than pleased to talk comics with LeBron James, but we all know that message is gonna go unread. But it
Yeah.
is cool.
Chances are, dude. That's basically like the
We're
dude
gonna burst
who
my bubble like that, bro.
you're basically the dude who goes to the Instagram model and DMs them.
Yeah, I am. I just want to be like, hey,
Guilty.
I'm here. But yeah, I thought this was cool to see, man. I know people feel a certain way about LeBron James, whether you love him or hate him. It's cool to see that he publicly came out saying he wants to hop, back into comics and doesn't know where to start. So I think it's fun to see how many people are hitting him up. I'm in Facebook groups where people sell comics and people were sending him invites and just like tagging him and everything, which was pretty funny. But yeah, man, LeBron James, guys, coming into comics. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, it's cool. I mean, listen, it's a we should be as open and as welcoming as possible,
Yeah.
and no gatekeeping. And I think he probably was a pretty big comic geek when he was younger, right? He seems the
Yeah.
type a little bit like that. So you know what? Bring it on. And I think his producing community is the one producing company is the one that's involved with Something Is Killing the Children, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Guys, do me all a favor. Yes, I'm hitting up LeBron James in the DMs. I'm sliding in on all of his posts. Just tag him. Be like, go check out Black Crown Comics. Go check out. Go on. Tell him to hop on. Tell him to do anything. Come this way.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
We'll just bombard him until he finally acknowledges us.
Or we
But
get
yeah,
arrested for harassment.
it's most likely that one. That's exactly what's gonna happen to us. But
Yeah.
enough LeBron James. Let's get into it. Hate it or love it, guys. Venom: The Last Dance came out this week, and well, it's pretty interesting how the critics gave it a 36% over on Rotten Tomatoes, but look at us fans hitting it with a 79%. Look, I watched the movie. Chia, I know you said you didn't, but you and I spoke about it. Yeah, you and I spoke about it, and I'm gonna give my honest review, guys. I'm gonna give my honest takes. I'm not gonna spoil too much. I'm not gonna spoil anything, to be honest. I don't want to go too into details, but what I will tell you is, I enjoyed the movie for what it was. The actual story itself felt all over the place. There were scenes that were funny, and then it went to military seriousness, and then it went wonky. It was pretty scattered story wise, but the main story, the main focus. First of all, if you thought you were going to see Null for a good portion of this movie, nope, not going to happen. You see him very briefly within the actual movie, and then you'll catch him afterwards. The movie itself, look, Tom Hardy's saying that this is it, that he's done playing Venom, and I'm assuming he means only in the Sony universe, because the way the movie leaves off, there's always the possibility he's now moved on within the movie, but not entirely. There's moments where it's gonna hit you in the heartstrings. You're gonna feel like, oh man, you're sad about a certain something. But overall, it's not as bad as everybody's saying, but it's not as good if you thought it was gonna be anything good. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I went with my wife. I told you guys many times on this show, when my wife tells me she loves the movie, that means it's not good. She loved this movie. She loved this movie.
Look, I mean, like Sam just said, it's a Venom movie. They have their thing that they do, and they're doing it.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. So I mean, I love the idea that they're not rushing Null. I love that idea that they've showed restraint with that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would hope that there's some kind of plan that they have in place with Null. It's terrifying to me to think that they're not going to have Marvel involved in doing Null, because I don't think they could possibly do it properly. But I'm willing to see how the multiverse story plays out, to see what their situation is post, to see if Null works in that way, that Marvel could be involved. I'm just hoping that somehow they cut a deal with Feige and they say, let us use some of the guys, and you can do the production and whatever, yada yada yada. You know, that's what I'm hoping that post thing is, so we can erase some of the trash that's there, and then they could go forward with that. That's what I'm
Look,
hoping.
in my opinion, yes, Val, and I agree with Harry. It was a very fun movie. Th- there's fun to be had within the movie. It's not like one of the worst films. And to be honest with you, I if I gotta rank the movies, I would put this movie probably as the best Venom one. You got Venom one pretty much close to tied with it, and then you got Let There Be Carnage, which was complete trash. Um, it I feel like this movie could have been done prior. Meaning Let There Be Carnage. I think we could have maybe trimmed the fat in the first movie, give us a little more carnage in the first movie, maybe take away from that second movie, give us what we got here in this movie, and then give us a third movie. I feel like that would have been the best play out for this. But unfortunately, that's not what we got. The story was messy. It was still an entertaining movie, if you just sat there and enjoyed it for what it was. But yes, Null, they left that door open very wide for the possibility of that to take place in the future. And I do see it taking place. We just spoke Spider-Man, the symbiote, the piece that dropped. Can Eddie Brock now make his way back to the MCU and, you know,
Now,
bond with the symbiote there? We shall see. Look, you got to remember, one of the things that people hated about Venom is the fact there's no symbol, the web slinging not being there, and people were actually, they even poke fun of at it within the movie. The symbiote literally says, "I had to pick the one host that doesn't fly." So reason being is for traveling, right? There was a traveling
yeah,
issue that took place. So they poke fun at that. I really think that we could see Peter Parker bond with that piece of symbiote that was left in the MCU, only for it to hop onto Eddie Brock. I think that would be great. It would be
you know,
amazing.
I told you my theory. I told you it. Parker's Breaking Bad, bro. I'm telling you,
I would love to see that. I'm not gonna lie. Um,
he's getting the symbiote, and he's gonna break bad. I'm telling
yeah,
you guys.
yeah. Now you got Nasha Venom saying was it meant to be a send off? The fact that Venom got a trilogy is a testament to the love for Venom and his fans. Absolutely, but it doesn't mean that it was a good trilogy. As a fan of Venom, Venom's the reason why I got into comics with Spidey. The '90s cartoon is really what reeled me in. But I agree, man. There was lots of parts that felt like it was a lot of nonsense. Um, yeah, the dancing with the fucking Miss Chen, whatever her name is, like I was just like, this
You
is so
gotta give her a send off too, bro. If you're gonna give Hardy a send off, you gotta give Chen a send off too, bro. She's definitely
it,
she
but
was
it wa-
OG.
but it wasn't even a send off. It was just weird. Like it was the most random encounter that you would have never expected. It was just like, why is this even happening? So, anyways, like I said, I'm just happy to see the door left open for Null. Possibilities are endless moving forward, so we'll see. But according to Tom Hardy, this is the end of it. So I won't go further into it because it's only opening weekend. I want to make it fair for everybody to watch the movie. But if ever you want to do a deep dive, guys, I'm more than happy to do so. Maybe we could do it on a separate show. But Chia, that's the show. Guys, chat, thank you so much for showing up and hanging out. I saw it's rocking a little over 46 viewers at once. So please, on your way out, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. But before you do that, for myself, I want you to listen to this guy right here, Mr. CHIAPET, on what's
What?
taking place tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
Tomorrow.
no.
Yeah.
We got our Comic Legion new comic book day claim sale over on our channel on YouTube. It starts at 7 o'clock. I would say sharp, but there's been some audio issues the last couple of weeks, so 7:05. But be there at 7. I believe the special of the week is Wolverine Revenge issue 3 Red Band. I believe it's either a $4 or 5, I think, Canadian. And we'll have a whole bunch of other goodies and some Halloween stuff as well. I think some Halloween themed books. So it should be fun. And join the Comic Legion and have a great time collecting. Actually, to be honest with you, I mean,
Yeah.
we're growing and it's been a great community so far, and we're really happy.
Yeah, guys, I want to see you all subscribe to Comic Legion over on YouTube. Like I said, especially if you're in Canada, you're missing out on a good opportunity to catch some cool books. And of course, yeah, hang out with CHIAPET, and we could all poke fun at him together in the chat. So that's what we all look forward to. Dan Torre, Derek, Stan, everybody who showed up tonight, JF, I appreciate all of you. Nostra Venom, thank you so much for hanging out. For
Thanks,
myself, like
everybody.
I said, yeah, like I said, this Thursday I'm going to be hanging out over on the Shakers with Covrprice. You got Laura, you got Marty, you got Chris, and myself. It's Halloween. I'm literally finishing Trick or Treat, and whatever I'm wearing that night with my kids, well, I'm wearing on stream. That's right. We're all
Your
dressing up.
your stream that you had on Tuesday covering the New
Top
York
10.
Comic Con was awesome. The top 10 was great. You had a
Yeah.
top 10 that had a lot of New York Comic Con books. It was great.
Yeah. Well, it was the first Tuesday after New
Yeah,
York Comic Con. So it was
great
pretty
great
much.
stream you guys had. It was great.
Thank you, man. I enjoy hanging out with them. They're nothing but great people, especially
Not as
Dave.
good as me, obviously, but yeah, they're good.
Oh, here he goes. Here he goes. But yes, no, we always appreciate you, Chia. At least the chat
All right.
does.
I don't want to hear you patronizing me. We're done. We're done for
I,
the night. Let's go.
I
Let's
said
cut.
at least the chat does. But yes. And then after Thursday, I'll be back next Sunday. So make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Chia, you all see tomorrow.
All right,
Adios.
deuces, guys. Have a good one.